Before I get into my Week 6 review and my Week 7 predictions, I just want to go over how I feel about the Eagles right now since they have a bye this week, and obviously I'm not going to be making a preview video or review video of their game. Eagles are 5-1. I can say I'm thoroughly pleased. I like the fact that they've rebounded from their sufferings in the first several games and look to be building upon their mistakes and correcting them. I like the fact that we're going to have that O-line back healthy in November. I like that we're going to have Kendricks back. I like that Shady, if Shady didn't at least have this one game against the Giants and be that old Shady of last year, I would be so much more concerned. But knowing that there's nothing psychologically wrong with him, that he's a beaten down guy or anything like that, they can't produce anymore. The fact that I know that going into the second half of the season, well, almost the second half, I feel good about this. It's 5-1. The only thing I could say is you gotta keep pace with Dallas, because this is not the same Dallas Cowboys team that we've seen in the last 18 years post Aikman, Irvin Smith era football. You can't get a game or two behind them. If you do, kiss the NFC East title goodbye. But I'll get a little bit more into Dallas here in a minute. I'm pleased. I mean, how can we complain? We're in a lot better shape than we were this point last year. Nick Foles, yeah, he's got 10 turnovers, but it's all correctable shit. If he can hone down his game, take a week off, heal up, because I still think he's healing up from that game in Philly against the Redskins, because he got fucked up in that game, and I think he's still licking his wounds from that. So take 2 weeks till we play again against Arizona, and we'll take it from there. Anyways, really pleased with the Eagles so far. Not many complaints, and the complaints I do have are all correctable shit, and above all else, Sproles looks great, special teams looks great, and the defensive pressure, if they can keep up this level of pressure on the quarterback, it's going to be a fun season of Eagles football here the rest of the year. Anyway, let's go on to the Week 6 review. Well, we started off with what looked like to be another typical Thursday night football game when the Indianapolis Colts jumped out to, what was it like? It was like 24-0. When Indianapolis got that onside kick early on in the first, I was like, well, this game's over. Another typical Thursday night blowout. But lo and behold, Mr. Fitzpatrick, Mr. Fitzpatrick and the Houston Texans battled back to make a game out of this, to make it a one-score game, only to have Fitzpatrick be Fitzpatrick and remind you what it's like to not have a real quarterback on a team and just blow the game in the end. Anyway, I feel bad for J.J. Watt, because he's going to be like that guy, that star guy that is stuck on a team that just can't go to the next level. It's kind of like Reggie White. When I'm sorry to bring this up, Philly, but it's kind of like Reggie White, where he was here in Philadelphia just being a defensive fucking beast. Then Jerome Brown died. And then it's contract negotiation time, and Reggie White ends up leaving for greener pastures in Green Bay, ironically enough. And then wins a Super Bowl there. I'm seeing J.J. Watt follow the same career path, and that's the type of guy, that's the type of player who I want to see get a ring on his finger. Like, I don't give a fuck about the Texans, but it would be nice to see someone of that fucking sick level of talent to get rewarded with the ultimate prize. But anyways, I guess I ultimately don't really care about that team. And, whoa boy, the Battle of the Titans. Even though one of the names of the teams is Titans, I know. Jacksonville versus Tennessee in the who gives a flying fuck game of the week. Jeez, I thought Jacksonville will win, but lo and behold, Tennessee ends up winning. When Jacksonville can't even get a potentially game-winning field goal up without getting blocked. If that isn't symbolic of the Jacksonville Jaguars season thus far, I don't know what is. Oh my god. Baltimore scored 600 touchdowns in the first quarter and went on to beat the Bucs. Denver, as expected, went into New York/New Jersey and just put another abysmal blemish on the Jets season. Geno Smith started at quarterback, and whatever, not much else to add to that game. Nice pick six at the end of the game, by the way, for the Jets. Detroit and Minnesota. Detroit ends up winning, making that NFC North a bit more interesting because everyone won except Minnesota that week in Week 6. New England at Buffalo. New England ends up winning. What else is new? They pretty much won the AFC East with this game. All you got to do is get a game ahead of everyone. You pretty much lock the division up because the division's so fucking terrible this year. Carolina at Cincinnati. This is a game where, I was talking to A. Cameltoes about this, the fact that Carolina got out of this game with a tie is about as close to a victory as you can get. The fact that Cincinnati misses, it was like a 38-yard field goal, I think it might have been less than that, in overtime that could have ended the game. And the fact that Carolina battled back in this game, had to score in the final minutes of the game just to force overtime. It was great. And Carolina's not getting a lot of attention. Like, they're kind of off the radar right now, along with another team that I'm going to get into in a second. But Carolina is sitting pretty right now. New Orleans is sucking this year. Atlanta is sucking this year. Tampa, they've pretty much conceded their season weeks ago. The team that no one thought would really be gelling this year is playing good football. Went into Cincinnati and came out with a tie. That's as close to a victory as you can get, especially for this team and especially for everyone else in that division looking like shit. Don't look now, but the Carolina Panthers could make some fucking noise, and you know what? Frankly, I think they like being off the radar because, you know, hey, they're excelling, so, you know, more the power to them. And the other team that I was saying how they're off the radar is, and I predicted them to win last week, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, don't look now, but the Cleveland Browns could have one of the best records in football in a couple weeks. Their next 3 opponents are Jacksonville, Tampa, and the Raiders. That's potentially, actually I think it might be a worse team than Tampa if I'm remembering correctly. Anyways, don't hold me that. It's 3 really bad teams that they're playing next. We could be looking at a 6-2 team here all of a sudden. That's fucking scary. Like, how did that happen? Anyway, they're winning. And I tweeted about this, that this team, even though they've lost a couple games, they've only lost by a combined total of 5 points. Like, don't look now, but Cleveland and Carolina are coming to stake claims in the NFC. Well, excuse me, NFC and AFC. Browns are obviously AFC. Anyway. But yeah, good on Cleveland. Again, that's my dark horse rooting interest this year because I want Cleveland to win a Super Bowl before LeBron comes and wins an NBA championship. That is, of course, unless Philadelphia is facing you in the Super Bowl. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. God, that'll be the day. Oh my God. Imagine if it was Cleveland and fucking Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Both two teams that just abysmally fall anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. And the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, talk about has-beens. Green Bay at Miami. Green Bay wins when Miami just lets Green Bay just drive down, just let Aaron Rodgers show that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and Miami has nothing to say of it and just lets them get a cakewalk touchdown in the closing seconds with no timeouts left. Fuck, man. Miami, fuck, you had that game. But you lost. San Diego. Talk about another team off the radar. San Diego is playing arguably the best football in the NFL right now. Except for another team that I'm going to get to in a second. Anyway, San Diego is sitting pretty at 5-1 right now, and I mean, who had the Chargers as a top contender in the AFC? But it's still early on this season, and it was the Oakland Raiders, and you barely squeaked out a win. But they're winning. Good teams find a way to win, and even bad teams have that game or two where they excel against a really good team, but then just fall just short. Anyway, Chicago at Atlanta. Rest in peace to the 2014 Atlanta Falcons. You're pretty much just fucked with another Carolina win and another Atlanta loss, and There's a lot of other teams that have, like, you know, there's probably going to be a wild card coming out of the NFC East right now, and I doubt you're going to keep up with the Cowboys or the Eagles this year, and just, yeah, it looks like bad news for Atlanta. I don't know what the fuck really happened there. I thought they weren't as bad as last year. They look worse. Now, granted, Atlanta has a shit ton of fucking injuries, and this was a game that Cutler really stepped up in. Yet Atlanta had to dress a tight end to play as an offensive lineman because they flat out ran out of players to put on the line. So, yeah, it's a lot of injuries, but you know what? Every team has fucking injuries, but Atlanta has a lot of them this year, so I don't know. Dallas at Seattle. Who the fuck predicted Dallas to go into Seattle and win? I did. I told you guys this team is the real deal, and as I said in the beginning of this video, this ain't the same Dallas fucking Cowboys that we're all used to seeing in that post-Aikman, Irvin, Smith era. This team, albeit a bunch of no-names on defense, is playing with heart and passion, and they're playing with motivation. And sometimes that's all you need when you're just an average talent squad to push you to that next level. They're confident in themselves, and they're playing confident football. Hell, they could very well be undefeated right now because they battled back in that game, that Week 1 game against San Francisco, and damn near stole from them. Sorry, it's early and my voice gets fucked up till, you know, it gets past noon. But anyway, this Dallas Cowboys team frankly scares me. I wish I could tell you it didn't, but it scares me. And one thing that's getting really old that a lot of people are saying is, don't worry, Dallas will just fall apart in December. Choco Romo will show up in December. I could just, if I could feel bad for Cowboys fans for a second, it's for the fact that they have to hear this. It's kind of like how I always have to hear, like, the Philadelphia has no rings. It's like, yeah, I know that. You don't need to tell me it. I get it. My team has never won a Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboy fans must feel the same way. It's like, we get it. Romo has fallen flat in December. Romo chokes in the final game of the season. This Cowboys team has done nothing in 18 years. I get it. You know, because I've been one of the people that have harped on that. But, you know, it's getting to the point where it's like, you know what? This team doesn't deserve or warrant that type of criticism this year because they are playing a different style of football that we've seen out of the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know what? If they fail, if they fall flat in December, I'll be there to chime in with it. You know, until then, this team frankly deserves no other... God damn it, Homer Clock. This Dallas Cowboys team deserves nothing but praise right now. It sickens me to know that they're playing such good football, and they're playing in the division the Eagles playing. Garg, 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 garg. Anyway, now the clock is done. I hope that team that chokes shows up in December. But you know what? This doesn't look like that same team that chokes in December, or that just taps out real quick in the playoffs and can't win a game. Dallas is playing good fucking football, and arguably, they're playing the best football in the NFL right now. Make a case against it. They went into Seattle and fucking won. And frankly, that game should have been a blowout if it wasn't for just clumsy errors by the Cowboys. It wasn't errors forced by Seattle. Seattle doesn't force a guy returning a punt to drop the ball. If there wasn't for shit like that, Dallas would have blown the fucking doors off them. It wouldn't even have been a one-score game. I mean, I don't know what games people saw. I want to say that was a close game. That was anything but a close game. Dallas fucking torched Seattle. And I'd be the first one to tell you that, oh, it was a lucky win, they barely won, fuck the Cowboys. No, fucking Dallas fucking did their thing. Again, it pisses me off because they're in the fucking same division the Eagles playing, and I'd be the first to tell you, but hey, fuck, man. Dallas looks like the real fucking deal this year, and I wish I could tell you otherwise. Arizona beat Washington. What else is new? And the Eagles beat the fucking piss out of the New York Football Giants 27-0. Shh. All that trash talking, where did that get you? The Giants fans and Giants players. And the 49ers beat St. Louis. 49ers, I'm on the edge of what I really feel about this team because they keep winning. albeit kind of unimpressively. But I might change my tune after this week. We'll get to that in the Week 7 outlook, which we're getting to right now. Jets at New England on Thursday Night Football. This is how we start the week off for Week 7. I gotta watch the fucking Jets go into New England. You know what, just for shits and giggles, and just for the fact that New England is so banged the fuck up, I'm going to pick the Jets to win this game. Because I think this is going to be one of those games where a shit team excels against a better team in the league. And who knows, maybe we'll see that AFC East be a lot more interesting than we originally thought. I don't know, maybe New England won't run away with it this year. Anyways, I'm picking the Jets to win. Fuck it. Atlanta at Buffalo, who gives a fuck, Buffalo. Tennessee at Washington to follow up Tennessee's game last week. Hold on, I have to take that phone call. Sorry, my car is getting painted, and that was a guy telling me that it's all done. Anyways, had to take that call. Jeez, that's rare that I have to stop a video. Oh my god, Archfiend had to do 2 takes. I lost the track of where I was at. Oh, Tennessee at Washington. Following up Tennessee's colossal game with the Jaguars of the Who Gives a Fuck Game of the Week. They star in the Who Gives a Fuck Game of the Week 7. Washington winning at home, I guess. Who cares? Seattle at St. Louis. Seattle should rebound from that Dallas Cowboys loss and bust up St. Louis's ass. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Again, Cleveland's next 3 opponents, cupcake teams. They could come away easily with 3 more wins and be sitting pretty in the AFC. Look for Cleveland to win in Jacksonville, unless the Brownies become the Brownies and let the Jacksonville Jaguars get their first win of the season over them. Fuck. Cincinnati at Indianapolis. I'm rooting for Indianapolis to win this game. And I was kind of like, rooting for Cincinnati to do well. But the actions of Vontaze Burfict, and he's always been known as a dirty player, but what he did in the Carolina game last week, it's just going to make me hate whatever team this guy is on. Because he's intentionally trying to not just be a dirty player, but to injure people. When he was on Cam Newton on that one play where Cam Newton ran into the end zone for a touchdown, and he's on the ground, and literally there's no other way to spin this. He's literally trying to grab his foot and ankle, not literally trying, he does, and tries to literally torque it like he's trying to fucking break it. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy and fuck whatever team he's on. How is he allowed to fucking keep playing? He deliberately tried to injure people multiple times in one game. One of which was Cam Newton. Cam Newton kicks off. He's like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? If I was Cam Newton, I would have spiked him with my cleats in the fucking face. And I doubt any of us would have been too remorseful if Cam Newton did it, because that motherfucker was trying to end Cam Newton's career potentially. I'm sorry, it's okay. I can understand having a dirty player, not that it's okay, but I can understand when there's dirty players. But when you take a level of dirty play, just like, like an extra shove after a play or extra shove when the guy's on the ground, to deliberately trying to fucking break someone's bones or tear ligaments, fuck that shit. There is no room for that in the fucking game. How is this? I hope that the league fucking takes this guy out of the game. Led the league in flagrant penalties last year, but anyways, fuck the Bengals now. Fuck them. They just. I know this guy's always been a dirty player, but to see him trying to injure players, that shit ain't fucking cool. Anyways, the Minnesota at Buffalo. Oh, I'm sorry. I said Atlanta at Baltimore. I said Atlanta at Buffalo before. Atlanta at Baltimore. I have Baltimore winning. I'm sorry. I can't even read. Can you fucking read this handwriting? Because I sure as fuck can't. Look at that. Anyway. Sorry. I know a lot of people in the comments are saying, no, Atlanta's playing Baltimore, not Buffalo. I can't read my own handwriting, people. I'm sorry. I suck. Anyway, Minnesota's playing Buffalo. Buffalo will win. Miami at Chicago. Look for Chicago to win and make that NFC North very interesting again. New Orleans at Detroit. Look for Detroit to lose and make the NFC North very interesting. New Orleans is going to win. Carolina at Green Bay. I'm going with Carolina. They got the hot hand right now. Yeah, it was a big comeback win against Miami for Green Bay, a big confidence booster, but Carolina's playing good football. And until they don't play good football, which granted they did in their first loss of the season, but anyways, we won't go into that. Carolina fans want to forget that ever happened. Kansas City at San Diego. Again, San Diego playing good football. Going with them over Kansas City. It's just they're just kind of waffling this year. Have fun with Andy Reid. Arizona at Oakland. Look for Oakland to continue their abysmal streak of not winning any football games, and Arizona's going to win. New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm hoping that the Giants win this game. No Victor Cruz, and that O-line from after what the Eagles did to them on the Giants. That O-line looks like fucking trash. Just absolute fucking trash. I mean, I want the Giants to win just so that the Eagles don't lose their first place spot, because it's kind of a pisser to lose your first place spot when you're on the bye. But again, Dallas will have the bye eventually too. But let's be realistic. Dallas is going to win this game. 49ers at Denver. Again, like I said in my review of Week 6, that the 49ers, they're on the edge of whether or not they really truly impress me. But you know what? The Denver Broncos don't really impress me yet either this year. I got the 49ers going into Denver and winning this game. How you like that, 49ers haters? Now the Denver haters are going to, or Denver people are going to come out and say, "Oh, you're a Denver hater." Whatever. Fuck you. Anyway, Houston at Pittsburgh, ending the week. Pittsburgh is playing some suck-ass football, but man, I just have a feeling they're going to show up in this game. I think it's going to be a coin flip type game. I think Houston can as easily win this as Pittsburgh does, but I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game at home. Anyways, everyone, that's our Week 6 review, our Week 7 preview. Eagles looking good going into the bye. Giants, hook us up. Hook us up, Giants. You know, we're sorry that we beat the fucking piss out of you as bad as we did and put up a goose egg and didn't have to talk much trash going into the game, unlike you guys did. But hook us up. And just, you know, we'll accept, as an extended apology for all the trash talking, we'll accept it as a defeat of Dallas this week. So go ahead and, you know, that'll be your form of apologizing, New York. Anyways, as always, have a good day, a better tomorrow. And fuck the Dallas Cowboys. The best team in football so far. Fuck.